Hello and welcome to Capacity TV. I'm delighted to be joined today by Andrew from Orixcom. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you very much, Paul. Good to be here.
Andrew, having launched at Capacity Middle East last year, perhaps you can tell us a little bit more about where Orixcom is today.
What an amazing year it's been. And I can't believe it was 12 months ago that we launched. No, it's really flown by. And we set out to do things differently for customers. We tried to think about how we could change and evolve the market and drive the market where possible, and do that through innovation, through our local knowledge and our regional knowledge, and by a laser focus really on customers. And I'm really delighted to say that's working. We've gained a lot of traction over the year. We've built some great customer relationships in both our core businesses, which is telecoms, and the cloud business as well.
And Andrew, how do you see the Middle East market evolving, and with it, Orixcom?
We've got phenomenal growth all around the Gulf, really, the GDPs. And specifically looking at the markets we operate in, some really tremendous growth figures. Now the UAE is exploiting its natural position as a hub. It's a hub for airlines, it's a hub for people, shipping, logistics, and increasingly now a hub for what we do, which is digital stuff, whether it's telecoms or cloud. That's a great time to be here for that. And I think if you look at some of the figures, for example, in the cloud market, there's a projected compound annual growth rate of 73% over the next 5 years for cloud services out of data centers. That's a super market to be playing in. You look around the region a bit wider than just the UAE, we have some markets such as Iran, Iraq, now beginning to open up and become more and more accessible. And there's a general feeling that markets like Iran are going to become extremely important to all sorts of players. So it's the right time to be here. We've tried to grow through leading with innovation. We've announced quite a few firsts over the last year, and just two examples of those. One is our virtual point of presence, which allows other operators who want to have a POP in the region to come in without risking CapEx. They get a faster time to market. They can be up and running in weeks. So even with maybe one customer to serve, they can put a viable proposition together. On the cloud side, we were the first to put together a fully integrated cloud platform in the region. That's really starting to bear fruit now, and especially mentioning the figures that on the growth of the market, I think there's a huge opportunity there for both software services and infrastructure services in the region, wholesale as well as direct to retail.
Andrew, you talked about cloud services. Perhaps you can talk to us a little bit about how you overcome the challenges of delivering secure cloud services in such a region.
Well, I think one of the biggest issues in this region about cloud is the location of the cloud. When we speak to customers, we consistently get asked in the first minute or two of the discussion, where is your cloud? Plenty of people throw cloud into the region from maybe Europe or America, but not many people do cloud in the region. So that to me seems to be something the market is reflecting back as a major priority. That's fine because we've made the decision to invest in our cloud infrastructure here and our services and platform here. So that's certainly specific to this region. I think legislation and government policies, practices such as licensing regimes in maybe finance communities are going to make that more and more important, that the data locates either in country or at least in the neighbouring country. So that's one thing. Then you've got the usual issues of doing business in this part of the world. Relationships are key. You've got to have relationships with folks up and down the region. And if you don't have those, you can spend an awful lot of time going nowhere. On top of that, then, I think there's some common challenges for clouds all around the world. The normal issues of security, connectivity, latency, response times. And those are probably no different here to anywhere else. So we have to build a top quality cloud with all the normal resilience, all the normal redundancy, and all the levels of security built in that you'd expect to see. Now, doing all that, we should see the market adoption rates pick up dramatically, either for packaged services where they can just consume them easily and simply, and an example of that would be a simple data backup service. It's not a sophisticated concept, although the product itself is quite sophisticated, but there's huge demand just for something as straightforward as that in this region because it hasn't been well served to date. And then at the other extreme, we can go to an entire platform enablement, so we can talk to an SI or a telco and provide them the whole capability through from services, provisioning, billing, trouble ticketing, all in one package. They put their label on it and they're a cloud player in the market straight away. So Yep, there's the usual challenges, but there's more opportunities than there are challenges.
So it certainly sounds like there's a lot of opportunity. It sounds like there's a lot of exciting times ahead. To finish then, perhaps you can just talk to us about where you think you'll be, this time next year.
Well, I look forward to Capacity next year so we can reflect back on 2014, and hopefully you'll see from us a lot of exciting announcements. We have big ambitious plans in both the telecom side and the cloud side. We are already positioned as one of the leading innovators and drivers of that, and I think our intent is to cement that position over the year. It's all driven by customers and what they want, and we listen to them, we reflect back what they say in terms of product development. I'm not a believer in creating services and just pushing them to a market. I think it's critical that you listen to the market. The customers are the ones that want to buy these services. They tell us where they want to go. We try to reflect that and we try to anticipate that. And if we get it right, I'll be telling you about lots of Orixcom customers this time next year.
Well, Andrew, I look forward to hearing more about your developments over the coming year. Thank you very much for joining us on Capacity TV.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure, Paul.